The IRS has announced a major change to the $600 reporting requirement, and that's what I want to talk about here in this video, as I have all the details, so let's get right into it. All right, now just yesterday, the IRS was out with a major announcement in regards to the $600 reporting requirement that we talked about a couple weeks ago, because this was going to be a major issue, and a lot of people are very relieved with this new announcement out of the IRS, and this was a new provision and law that was brought in as a result of the American Rescue Plan back in early 2021, where any transactions totaling over $600 would need to be reported on a 1099-K issued by all of these money transferring apps that we talked about. And I want to bring you those details because now the IRS just changed it yet again, and I want to let you know what this means for all of you. So let's get into it and discuss all these details. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so. And because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side every single day, watching all these new announcements hitting the wire, doing the necessary research, and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on and how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and anything else going forward. Of course, I want to bring it to your attention right away. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. And also remember, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. That's my dedication. That's my commitment. And as always, that is my promise to you and everybody right here in the community. All right, thanks again. Let's get into it and talk about this. Also, do your friends, family, and social media a huge favor. Share this video with them because this is a major concern for a lot of people, and we don't really need to be concerned about it all that much for a little bit longer based on this announcement, and a lot of people are going to be very relieved about this. So please do them a huge favor. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, because this is a pretty big announcement, and I'm excited to bring it to you right here. All right, so here's the deal. Like I said, back in March of 2021, within the American Rescue Plan, there was this provision where any transactions totaling over $600 on any of these money transferring apps. Now again, this is including, but not limited to, things like PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, all of these other places, including eBay, Poshmark, Etsy. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Tons of these different places. Any transactions over $600 would need to be reported on a 1099-K, and then you would have to report this on your tax return. Now again, let me clarify this as well. Any income. Now, this is within the IRS rules. Basically, any income is all taxable, okay? So it doesn't matter if you're getting a 1099-K or not. Whether you're getting a 1099-K or not, all income is taxable, okay? So please remember that. Just because you don't get a form doesn't mean that you don't need to pay taxes on it. I'm not saying that at all. All income is taxable, okay? So just keep that in mind. However, here's the deal. Remember this. Remember some of these money transferring apps? How many of us transfer money to maybe friends, family, neighbors, acquaintances, where we send money back and forth because we're paying somebody back, maybe for, I don't know, maybe they picked something up at the store for us and we're reimbursing them. Or maybe they bought something for us and we're reimbursing them. Maybe we're giving them money for utilities. Maybe we're paying for some of their gas or something like that. I mean, literally, maybe we go out to dinner or to lunch with them and they cover, and then we send them an electronic payment. I mean, seriously, the list goes on and on and on and on, right? So as a result of that, basically what the deal is any of these types of transactions, as in reimbursements, were not supposed to be counted. However, let's be real for a second. How many of these transactions would have actually been counted, and then all of a sudden we get a 1099-K and say, but wait, all I did throughout the entire year is all I did was reimburse people and they reimbursed me. None of this should have been taxable because it was not income, it was just reimbursements. And then they say, oh, sorry, just kidding, let's redo that. So this whole thing was going to cause a huge headache for a lot of people, and the IRS understood that. The IRS recognized this. So yesterday we got an announcement out of the IRS, and they said they're going to be delaying this by 1 year. This is amazing. I mean, seriously, I know it's only a delay, but at the end of the day, this is going to give us another year to straighten this out until this all needs to be reported. And maybe by then they'll change the rules again. I'm not really sure, but all I know is this was going to cause a huge headache for a lot of people. And I know with the videos that I produced a couple weeks ago, I saw a lot of people coming out saying, great, this is not what I need right now. This is not what I need as far as, all the reimbursements and things like that. How do they know that I've been reimbursed and or I've been doing the reimbursing throughout the course of the year, right? Again, this is where a lot of questions have been coming in from a lot of us here in the community, as well as a lot of other people out there, including CPAs, accountants, attorneys, all kinds of people saying, this is a mess and this is going to cause a huge headache for a lot of people who have virtually no income from these cash transferring apps, but rather it looks like they have a bunch of income because they just got a bunch of reimbursements throughout the course of the year, right? Money going back and forth from friends, family, acquaintances, kids, stuff like that. And this is going to be dropped for a year. Now, however, I do want to say this one more time. Just because you do not get a 1099K from these money transferring apps does not mean it is not taxable. All income is taxable by the IRS, okay? Please keep that in mind. So, this is not accounting advice. This is not tax advice. I am not your accountant. I am not your CPA. All I'm telling you is just because you don't get a form doesn't mean that, hey, hooray, it's not taxable. No, I'm not saying that, okay? So please keep this in mind. And the IRS made this very clear in their announcement. Just because you don't get a form doesn't mean you get to skip right on by and it's not taxable. Oh yeah, it's still taxable. It just means that these money transferring apps are not going to, they're not going to report this to the IRS for this year, okay? For the calendar year of 2022. However, 2023 is going to be a different story, okay? So please keep all this in mind. However, there's always a but if type of situation, right? Well, here's what happens. If you happen to get $20,000 in transactions in 2022, guess what? You're going to get a 1099K, okay? So please keep this in mind as well. That rule is still in place. So 20 grand, if you happen to get it through these apps, you're going to get one of these forms, okay? So just remember, and that will also be reported to the IRS. So just make sure you're reporting all this stuff because the IRS, they have all this information and they're going to want to make sure that you're keeping record of this stuff and that you're reporting it to them as well on your tax return, okay? So long story short, here's what it comes down to. If you're being reimbursed from friends, family, neighbors, acquaintances, literally it doesn't matter. If you're being reimbursed from anybody, through these money transferring apps. This is not taxable transactions because it's reimbursement. It is not income. However, if you're doing a side hustle, if you're selling stuff on eBay, if you're selling stuff on Poshmark or Etsy or any of these other places, if you're doing a side hustle, as in you're doing some kind of, reselling or you're selling a good or a service, you're providing some kind of service or you're doing something and you're getting payment through some of these money transferring apps, again, some, but not limited to, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, the list goes on and on. If you're doing stuff like this, if you get, any income from this sale of goods and or services, that is income that you need to report, okay? So I'm just letting you know this stuff right now. This is made very clear by the IRS, even though they're dropping the 1099K reporting for at least a year now. They're dropping it. They're not going to require that for the first year now because it's, they recognize this is going to be a mess here and they want to give another year to actually get stuff straightened out here. But just letting you know, reimbursements, not taxable. It's a reimbursement. Income from a sale of goods or services, taxable, okay? Just want to keep that in mind, okay? So I know that a lot of people here in the community have been very concerned about this, but all I can say is this much. If you happen to, transfer money back and forth to people and it's all reimbursements, I would say you don't have anything to worry about. That's not taxable. It's not income. It's just a reimbursement, okay? However, if you're providing services, if you're selling something, that's income then, okay? And that's what the IRS wants to know about. Just want to break this down for you. But they were out with this announcement yesterday. This is huge, huge news and a lot of really good things for a lot of people because, as we talked about in those videos a couple weeks ago, this was going to cause a huge headache, and not only for people here in the community, literally millions and millions of Americans. Let's be real for a second. How many of us use money transferring apps? A lot of us, like almost everybody. You probably have some kind of one of these apps or one of these methods on your phone or on your computer. Whether it's any of them that I mentioned throughout this video or any of the others that I haven't mentioned. Again, honestly, there's so many of these things out there, I don't even know about all of them. I just mentioned the most popular ones. anyway, this announcement out of the IRS, a huge relief for now, but remember, this is still in play. This is not going away. They're just giving basically a 1-year reprieve on this so that we can all kind of get things in order here, So anyway, hope that helps you out. Either way, leave your comments, your questions, and your feedback down below. I can always come back and make another dedicated video if you'd like me to. Otherwise, I just want to do what I can to help you out. So again, please subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Do your friends, family, social media a favor. Share this video with them. Down below next to the subscribe button, there's a share button. Share this video with your friends, family, social media. And go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. And again, leave those comments, questions, and feedback down below. And I want to do my best to kind of reiterate this and or clarify this in any way that I can. This is a big deal for a lot of people. So enjoy. Hope you're having a nice day so far. And I'll catch you again later in the next video.